everyone, welcome back to my channel. I was super bored today because it's day, I don't even know, of self-isolation and only going places that are absolutely necessary. So I haven't been going into my office. I've just been working from home and finishing up my rental property. And I've been thinking about that rental property a lot, and I have a feeling that a lot of people are kind of asking themselves how I was able to buy another home in such a short amount of time, or because of my age. I had a few messages the other day after I posted an update just saying, you know, like, why are you renting out your brand new house? Why aren't you going to live in it? So I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about how I bought that house and my plans with it. To start, I will be staying in my condo. I love this house so much. I'm still pretty much still moving in, still unpacking, still arranging and rearranging and painting and repainting. I'm really close to Sydney and Lady and soon Blake, so it's just really fun living over here. The rental is it's in the middle of town. It's close to Target. It's all by its lonesome little self, and I just feel safer here. So that's why I will be renting that one out and staying here. So I wanted to talk to you guys about how I was able to buy that house, because I know that I'm pretty sure when I first posted it, people were like, how in the world does she have money to do this? This is impossible. It doesn't make sense. I get it. I totally get it, because when we're told that we're buying a house or someone bought a house, or when you're thinking about buying a house, in our minds we are trained to think that that means you have to have 20% down, and that's really not true anymore. Actually, very, very rarely do I see, actually, to be completely honest, I don't think I've ever seen a 20% down purchase. And I've been doing this over 2 years. Most of the times I will get military buyer, and that's 0% down. So if you're a military friend of mine and you want to buy a house but you don't have money saved up, truthfully all you have to do is be able to afford your taxes, your monthly payments, and your utilities, and you can buy a house. A lot of people are first-time home buyers, and you don't even technically have to be a first-time home buyer to use an FHA loan, but that is only like 3.5% down. Gus is messing with the tripod. Hey, come say hi to the world. And then other people are using conventional loans that are 3.5 to 5% down. So still a little bit of a chunk of change there, 5% down, but way more doable than 20% down. So just know that there are so many options out there. We have down payment assistance programs, we have grant programs, so many different options to help you buy a house. But in my situation, I did not do any of those things. I didn't get a loan for this property. No, I didn't buy it all cash. I bought this house through a trust indenture. You may have heard the term contract for deed. It's similar, yet it's different. So I will just briefly and hopefully precisely explain how I did this. So one of my friends on Facebook, she messaged me and said that her friend needed to sell their house and she wanted me to get a hold of him. So of course I reached out, and when I am taking a listing or going on a listing appointment, while I'm on the phone with them, I ask pre-qualifying questions. You know, there's like 20 of them that just states, where are you moving to? How much do you hope to make from the sale of this property? How much do you owe on the property? Why are you moving? When are you moving? When does this house need to be sold? Things like that. As I was on the phone with this gentleman, he was pretty much just telling me things that led me to know that I could buy the house. He didn't owe anything on the property. That's the biggest thing. In order to do a trust indenture or a contract for deed, the seller has to 100% own the house. There cannot be any mortgage on the property. So when I knew that, that was the first cue. I'm always listening to that. Then, you know, I was just saying, how much do you owe on the property? And, or not how much do you owe, how much do you hope to make? And he really didn't hope to make money. A lot of sellers are motivated by money, and this gentleman was not. And I think I said this before when I was buying the house, but this guy is just, he was an angel. I swear, he was so nice. And he pretty much paved the way for me to be able to buy this house. So he owned the property, which meant I could buy it with a trust indenture. He didn't care to make a ton of money off of it, so that allowed me to not have to purchase it at full market value. He was willing enough to allow whoever bought it to make some money off of this house and not put them just right back into market value. So that was just kind of the overview of how I knew that this was a possibility for me. So I was on the phone with him and I asked, you know, before I come over for a listing appointment, can I come over tomorrow as a buyer, take a look at the house, take some pictures, run some numbers, and see if this purchase could work for me? And he was like, absolutely, come do whatever you want. So I went and met with him. He let me take some pictures. I brought Leo over later that day to look at it again, and we just kind of sat down and realized, you know, the potential that I could have from this, what I would need to make it work, how we can make this purchase work, and went with it from there. So the next day I was writing up an offer for this gentleman. So with a trust indenture, I didn't have to go to the bank. I didn't borrow any bank's money. So basically the seller, and I just don't want to say his name out of privacy, so the seller agreed to finance the property for me. So the seller acts as the bank, and I make my monthly payments to him. So this is the hard part as far as explaining it goes. I presented him with a purchase price, a down payment amount, an interest rate, and you know, any other terms that were required to make this go through, like when my payments would start, how long he would finance it for, things like that. So with pretend numbers, because I'm not going to fully expose myself, so let's just say I offered him $150,000. I offered to give him a $5,000 down payment. So the day of closing, he would receive $5,000. My monthly payments would be $500 a month. You can run that through a proper amortization schedule, which I did, and it includes your interest rate. So interest rates right now are around 3.5%. So I bumped mine up so that it was a higher interest rate to just look more appealing to him. And it is more appealing, he's making more money that way. So my interest rate was higher. I truthfully don't remember, but let's just say I put it at 5%. And then I asked him to finance it for 8 years. So that means for 8 years, he will take monthly payments. He's not getting that whole $150,000 up front. He gets $5,000 up front and then my monthly payments. And then in 8 years, I have to take this house to a bank and refinance it. So get a mortgage, a conventional mortgage. Interest rates will change, monthly payments might change. But with a trust indenture, I have full rights to the property. So my name is on title and the seller appears like the bank would if you bought it with a mortgage. I have full rights to renovate the property, redo anything that I want. I have the rights to sell the property whenever I want. I can rent it out. It's my house. Because it's my property, I can do with it what I want, and he doesn't have a say in it anymore. If I were to stop making payments on the property, he could still foreclose on me. I'm trying to think, I should have taken notes. I have no notes here. I just kind of went with it. The biggest thing that I want you guys to realize with this is that I didn't go into this purchase with $30,000 in hand. I offered a down payment that made sense for myself. It made sense to the seller. I presented him an offer. He had the rights to negotiate back, and it just made sense for everyone. Roundabout way, I know I just kind of explained it the long way, but he is financing the home. He's the bank. I'm making monthly payments to him. Really the only money that I had out of pocket were my home inspection and my down payment and taxes and insurance. It's a challenge to find these contract for deed homes or these trust indenture homes because, like I said, the house has to be fully paid off. So usually you'll see that in older couples. You have to own your home pretty much 15 to 30 years, more likely 30 years in order to pay it off. So you will see that in the older population who bought their house years and years ago. And a lot of people really don't like waiting. You know, there's the unknown of if they have these expenses or if they want to go buy a new home, they need that money to do that. So it's very rare. I'm gonna be honest, this is the first one that I've come across, and I've sold over 40 homes. It's not possible with every seller, but it is a possibility if the circumstances line up. I just wanted to be honest just because I know a lot of people are questioning how I did it, and I was blessed and I didn't have to have 20% into a transaction. So I hope this all made sense. I hope if you have questions about it, you'll reach out. I think that's all I have. I'm so scatterbrained right now. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, which absolutely will definitely be on my personal channel. This one's probably on my real estate one. But on my personal channel, the next video upload will be my finished house tour, and I'm super excited. It's almost done. So if you know anyone that needs a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for rent, let me know. I'll see you guys later.